Dr. W. Darren Moore. Do you feel that collection claims or local church taxes have an effect on membership decrease? If so, what would you do to address this issue?
Yeah, I never think it's ultimately about the money. I think it's about the mission. Money follows mission. If we invest in making disciples rather than seeing people as a source for raising money, then we have no problem meeting our goal.
Reverend Barbara Martelson. Your question, Reverend. As a bishop, how will you address the ministerial increase in the pulpit, but the ministry decrease in the vineyard?
As a bishop, I would look at the motivation behind the call, because when we're called to more than just the pulpit, and there are people who have calls on their lives that we're not actively pursuing because we've only focused on the pastoral office. And there are people with other ministerial gifts and callings on their life that can make a dynamic difference in our local congregation if we would employ them and if we would give them the same recognition as we gave pastoral leadership.
Thank you.
Reverend Anthony Witherspoon. Many of our churches are pastored by wounded healers. What plan would you implement in your Episcopal district to assist these persons and help these churches?
I think in each Episcopal district, there needs to be measures put in place for those persons who have had trouble in their lives and problems in their lives, to not only be counseled, but follow-up measures for the same. You cannot preach healing if you don't know healing yourself.
Thank you.
Dr. Michael Frencher. Dr. Frencher, what would you do, or what should be done to place a cap on unallocated funds and Episcopal district budgets?
But I believe, as already been stated, that the problem, again, is not the money as much as it is us pushing for ministry and mission within our churches. But I do believe that we need to examine within all of our annual conferences and see what ministries we are talking about and how much funding they actually need. I think what we need to do is not so much put a cap on the funds, because what we don't want to do is limit what God has given us, the vision and the ability to do. What we need to do is prioritize our ministry so that we fund or funnel the money into the areas that will guarantee us, or not so much guarantee us, but will help us to fulfill the mandate that Christ has called us to. And so I just believe, again, in pushing forward the mission of the church, prioritizing our budgets and making sure that monies are made available to carry out the ministry rather than capping off any areas.
Thank you, Dr. Frencher.
Dr. Seth Marte. As a bishop, what would you do to resolve the current issues with brotherhood pension?
The current issue of the brotherhood pension is being addressed by the current Board of Bishops, and they are given the necessary fiduciary responsibility to resolving that issue. It is going to take the entire AME Zion Church to want to resolve that situation. And when that comes on the floor of the General Conference, it is going to be necessary for delegates who are involved to ensure that they understand that we can no longer have pastors pastoring without pension, without benefits, and it's going to take all of us to respond to what the bishops are going to present. And if we vote on what the bishops present, I believe we'll be in a good place. That deserves a hand.
Thank you. At this time, we have another question which each candidate will be asked to answer, and we will call you in a order that we